Happy Saturday, Virgo. This is Nikki. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Thank you so much for supporting me and everything I do on the channel. Let's get your energy read for today. Spirit, give us a reading. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday, Virgo. What's your message? Throat chakra. Talking. Maybe you need to say something to somebody. Inner child. This is you having conversations, having some experience. I'm hearing healing your inner child. Maybe you need to talk about it with somebody. Maybe there's some things that you have never spoken about that took place in your childhood and you don't want to talk about it. I feel like at some point you need to talk about it, Virgo. Yeah, your innocence. It's about your innocence as a child. Okay. Picking up on this energy right away. Okay. We have sexuality, openness. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is the message. If this could be a triggering message, a trigger warning, if something happened to you as a child, Virgo, maybe incest or rape or something like that took place, and it's something that you never talk about. I feel like you need to move on away from that energy, or you have a child in your family right now, or somebody that you know around your energy is getting abused, sexually abused. Jesus. We have, music, and we got love. It could have happened at a party where music was around. Okay, where music was around, and they, it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm hearing the movie, Aretha. I think that was the name of the movie. And in the movie, her family was having a party. She went to bed, and it was a man came in her room and molested her. So that's the kind of energy I'm picking up. It was around a lot of people, a group of people. They're probably drinking, smoking, whatever, and it just happened behind the scenes. Nobody ever knew. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Spirit, please cleanse this energy and surround us all with the white light of your Holy Spirit. Please take away anything that does not serve us or anybody around this energy who has experienced this this crime, because that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay. I'm definitely feeling some energy around somebody here who was molested as a child. And there was possibly some drinking involved. Maybe they gave you something, or you sipped something that you weren't supposed to. What kids do, we do all that stuff when we were younger. Tasting somebody's drink or something, being a little disobedient or something, doing something we know we weren't supposed to do, but we did it. I just feel, though, Virgo, that this is some energy around you that, like I said, it's possibly happened to you as a child, or it's possibly happening in your energy field right now with somebody that you know. Could be a family friend, a coworker or something, but it's some energy, And I don't know, I just feel like somebody ran and told, but they didn't believe you. All right. When you said something, when you vocalized this, we have throat chakra, and we have self-expression, inner voice, assertiveness. You were very smart. Okay. And you tried to vocalize this with somebody, possibly around when you were 5 years old. I'm hearing around your 5th birthday, or you were 5 already. Okay. You tried to tell people, but they didn't hear you. They didn't hear you, Virgo. And two, I also see that somebody here was possibly witnessed their family member or somebody sleeping with somebody else, like physically having sex with somebody else. Okay. I feel like you saw somebody having sex or whatever. I saw my mom having sex. I saw my daddy having sex with somebody, and you tried to go and tell somebody. Okay. And they didn't hear you. They didn't listen. Whatever the situation was, or maybe you didn't say anything and it just shocked you that you saw. Kind of like, I keep getting these movie references, kind of like the girl in, damn, I can't think of the movie. They were having a party, and the little Smollett girl daughter, back when she was little, she went in a garage or something and fell asleep in a car and woke up to her father having sex with one of the ladies who was at the party. So maybe you saw something you should not have seen, but you maybe not. Maybe you're keeping that a secret. You haven't told anybody. Okay. Gosh, Virgo, you have been through a lot. But you know what? We have intelligence. You, based on everything you went through, you've been able to survive, thrive, and grow. Okay, you never let anything that happened to you get you down and keep you there. You've always been able to surrender to your highest glory, your highest good. You never gave up on yourself, despite everything dark in your life that you have went through or experienced. All right, see, you're strong. You're so strong. And you just know things. I just feel like Spirit has given you this gift of just knowing who you are and not listening to the naysayers, not paying attention to the negativity that they've heard or that you've heard. But I think that sometimes it's afraid of you. Sometimes you're afraid to say things. You're afraid to tell the truth. You wanted to be honest. You needed to be honest with people, but you didn't. Okay, you didn't say what happened to you. Nobody knew, possibly to this day, what happened to you. All right. So nobody. It's like, how can I believe you when you're not telling me the truth, or when you're not telling me what's really going on here? Okay, what's really going on? You kept it a secret. Possibly there's some things that's happened to you. And I'm not talking about skeletons in the closet. That too, possibly a little bit, but this is more so about the things you didn't share with anybody, the things that happened to you. You kept it under lock and key. You never talked about it. I feel like now Spirit wants you to talk about it, Virgo. Even if you do it in a support group. Even if you write it down, talk about it. It's time to share. It's time for you to let it out, because it is though you've had the life that you wanted, it may be rough here and there. If you let go of this secret, whatever happened to you, all right, I feel like things are going to be so much better for you. But it was hard for you to tell the truth, because you feel like, if I told my mama this or my daddy this, I'm hearing the name Jack. Okay, if I tell about what happened to me, or if I tell that I saw Uncle Jack sleeping with my mama or even my daddy, whatever, okay, I do feel like it may bring some things up, but sometimes you have to release this that you've been through in order for you to heal better. I'm hearing something about your coping skills. It's hard for you to communicate. It's hard for you to be in intimate connections with somebody, because it makes you uncomfortable. Okay, it makes you uncomfortable. And I feel like sometimes you do need to talk about it. Even, if you talk about it to a friend, or, maybe who hurt you is no longer here and you need to tell a family member about it, or I feel like it's holding you back to an extent. Okay, to an extent, Virgo. All right. What's up with these difficult readings today? What's going on, Virgo? Okay. Yeah, if you talk about it, you'll find peace that you need. If you talk about it, you'll find that peace. I think a part of you, especially that inner child that's inside of you, will be healed. Okay, finding a place of healing through your peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy by talking about it, by simply talking about it or writing about it. We got death. It's over. I am learning that endings are mere beginnings. So I kind of feel like if that person hurt you, they're possibly on the other side, and you are so relieved, and you feel so much better now that this person is deceased. But yet and still, you may need to talk about it to help you heal even further. Okay. And yeah, I see relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good, because you failed at a lot of relationships. You've dealt with negativity, narcissism, and abuse physically and mentally, even possibly even sexually in your relationships. Okay. Because what happened to you, what took place, or what it is you felt and saw, it took you to another level, a negative level. And you don't know how to receive love. You don't know how to give healthy love, receive healthy love, because of what it is you've experienced, what it is you have been through. Okay, so most of you all, well, if you've been around me long enough, you know that I was abused, sexually abused, incest, when I was a little girl, and I was actually pulled into a vacant house as well. So I wrote my story. It's called Stolen Innocence. It's all about us healing our insides. It's all about us going back and communicating with that lost child inside of all of us, so we can heal completely together. So this is a part of my story here. I'm going to read it. I'm not going to say all of it because it's a book. It's on Amazon, as a matter of fact. But this is, I was writing the end of my story as if I was in a parallel universe. Okay. This is the last part of it. Okay. But my reality in this moment, right here, the moment where I end this story, the moment where I start to pick up the pieces of my broken childhood, this is this is the moment right here where I go back into that vacant house and find that pretty little black girl still sitting in the corner of that dirty kitchen. She is still sitting in the dark. Her knees are pulled up to her chest. Her hands are cupping her knees very tightly. She is crying and shaking because she is so scared that the man who hurt her is coming back. I call her name, but she doesn't answer. She looks up and our eyes meet. I stoop down and hold out my hand. I tell her not to be afraid. At first, she hesitates. She pulls back. She realizes that I look just like her, only older and bigger. Ha ha ha. Then the little girl, after all those years, sitting in the corner all by herself, hurt, shaken, and bruised from the inside out, takes my hand and stands up tall. She asks me who I was. I tell her I am her grown up self. She asks me why I was there. No one seemed to care that she was missing all those years. Why now? I told her I never knew that I left her behind, alone in this filthy hellhole. I say, I am so very sorry that I failed to look back, but I was so afraid. I'm so very sorry that I left a piece of my soul behind. That little girl in that sailor dress looked down at that dirty corner across the room. The one with those dirty, I'm sorry, the one with those 30-year-old blue shorts with the lines down either side of them was still on the floor, just as ragged as the rest of the building. This part here gets me, y'all. She asked me, where were we going? I told her we were going home. She took my hand and I picked her up. Then the little girl who looked just like me, only smaller, gave me a tight hug around my neck. She looked deep into my eyes and said, I love you. Tears ran down my face as I said to her, I love you too. That, the end, but this is just my beginning. The end, but this is just my beginning. Oh my gosh. I haven't read that in a while. But yeah, I do have that book, like I said, on Amazon. It's called Stolen Innocence. And I'm not telling you to buy the book. I'm just telling you that's where it is. So don't think that's what this reading is about. No, it's not. Okay. So yeah, you just have a lot of inner healing too. And when you find that healing inside, when you communicate with your higher self, when you communicate with who you are right now, that energy is going to come into you. So you communicate with that child. I'm hearing who is some sort of void inside of you, but you have to find that void and heal it. And that void inside of you is actually your child, your inner child. Oh Lord, it took me a lot to say that, y'all. Success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love, and that's loving you first before you can love somebody else. Jesus. Spirit, what are you doing to me today? Love. I just said that. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things, in all people. Just because you were hurt and harmed by somebody in the past doesn't mean that you're not that you're incapable of giving love, but also incapable of receiving it. Whew, got me shaking. What's going on? Yeah, you've been through a lot in your life, but you've always been able to persevere. We got adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn because you're learning to love yourself, and you're learning that everybody ain't bad. Okay, everybody's not here to hurt you. It may be a difficult situation. You may find relationships that you love somebody, they love you, but they treated you wrong. You haven't been able to let go of past heartache and pain. Possibly have an issue of letting go of those that no longer serve you, but you are with them because you don't think that you deserve a good love, okay? A respectful love, an honest love, a forever love. It's all about healing your inner child, Virgo. You're never 100% completely alone. And Spirit is sending you this message because you've been through a lot. I just feel like you think that you are the only person that experienced that. I'm shaking, literally. But do you honestly think that you are the only one who's ever been through that, Virgo? No, you're not. Spirit is sending you this message and wanting you to heal your inner child. I'm hearing heal your inner youth. Okay. It's all about you finding that complete healing, not a little bit, not 5, 10, 15, 20, but total complete healing of the inner child. Okay. You're going to be successful. We did have success too at this one of these other decks too. You will be successful at this. The Spirit says you are a success. The fact that you got through this is a success, Virgo. Congratulations. Another thing Spirit is wanting me to tell you, I just thought about it in my story. My mother, we used to go to these food pantries when we were little. So we went to this church. Never ever forget it. Church is still there. And this guy was in there. His name was Thomas. Okay, was it? Yeah, Thomas. He had to date my mother. We were the only ones there. So the guy asked my mother if did the kids want some powdered donuts. Okay. So he asked me, you want to come and get the donuts? It was just a big box of Hostess family donuts. So I said, yeah, I went up there with him and he got the donuts. I put them in my hand. I remember holding, you know how kids put packages and they hold them in their hand, So he said, no, I'll never forget it. I hear it now. He said, wait a minute. And he put his hand on my shoulder. Wait a minute. And I stopped. And I had on a pair of shorts. So he reached inside my shorts and he said, open your legs a little. I say, no, And after that, I took the donuts and ran back downstairs. I never told my family this. Nobody knows about this unless they read my story. My story is online, but it's anonymous because I don't want them to know that I wrote the story. Okay. And a few months later, we saw on the news that he was locked, that he was in jail. They showed his mugshot. Though Thomas was not his right name. It wasn't the name he told us. So he had his mugshots. Do you all know that he was a child serial killer? He killed this girl and put her body in a bag and put it in the alley to throw away as trash, So I definitely feel that Spirit was with me then, because had I said something to my mother then, I probably wouldn't be here. We probably wouldn't be here today. So you just never know what the person sitting next to you has been through, Virgo, for sure. All right. High Priestess, this is you. I just feel like you are a very highlighted individual. There's some things you just know. I think that you've survived in your life and you're here to thrive and grow and heal others through your healing. I'm hearing your complete healing. You're here to tell a story. Your duty is to help other people survive the things that you went through. Okay. I just feel like you just don't know how blessed you truly are. You may feel like it was a difficult thing to go through, and it was. You possibly think about that, and tell you this, every time I see a small powdered donut, that's the day it takes me right back to that moment. Every single time I see a powdered donut, it takes me back to that time. That's like a trigger for me. Just like that song, I Will Survive, is a trigger for me because it was taking place during that time when that song was very popular. I can't listen to I Will Survive. I just can't. It gives me the creeps. All right. I'm sharing so much stuff with you all today. I don't know why. I just think that this is about us empowering ourselves to heal. Okay. Completely. Like I said, not just a little bit, but 100%. You got to listen. I think that you told somebody what happened to you, but they didn't listen. They were in denial. And that's the hardest part, when you try to get somebody to listen to you and they don't believe what it is you say. So you stop saying anything. You stop talking about it. Okay. Like, Maya Angelou did. She stopped talking after that happened to her. Some people know, they just want to be in denial. Okay. They just want to be in denial, but tell your story. Okay. If they don't hear you, maybe the next person will. Because you were honest. You were honest. And if you're being honest about yourself now, you're not completely over this. There's still some things you're holding on to. I'm evidently holding on to it still, even though I wrote the story and a lot of people know what happened to me, but yet and still other people don't. My mother never asked me about what that person did to me in their house. When I came home, I knocked on the door and I fell down. My brother opened the door and I said, first thing I said to him, I'm hurt. He picked me up and put me on a black Chase lounge that my mother had at the time. And she came home. She asked me, "Do you want me to take you to the hospital?" I said, "No. I'm a little girl. I just told you what happened to me, and then you're gonna ask me if I want to go to the hospital." I never went to the hospital. She never asked me anything about it. She asked me about 3 years before she passed away. We never talked about it because you never asked. She still doesn't know. She knows now because she's on the other side. But, people can be in denial all they want. You can be in denial about what you know my brother is doing to me, but you're not doing anything to stop it. All right. Yeah, high priestess of air. So you're definitely a heightened being. And I feel like you got to understand that you are more than your pain. You are more than a conqueror. You are more than what that person took from you, or what this person is constantly taking from you. This is about you, your self-worth, your self-value. But in order for you to find your self-value and your self-worth, you have to go within and heal that inner child and stop wearing your heart on your sleeve. People may not know what you've been through, or they may not know what you have experienced, but it's written all over you. You feel ashamed. You stay behind closed doors. You're the hermit. You don't go out and associate with people. If you do, it makes you sick. It makes you ill. I can't stand crowds. Possibly because I'm an empath, but I can't stand crowds. I don't like going to the stores during the holidays. People bumping me with their buggies. If you bump your ass and bump me with that motherfucking car, I'm going to fuck you up. That's why I don't like shopping. I can't stand shopping. I go in the store, get what I want, and come right back out. Crowds, you ain't going to see me in a crowded place. I can't do it. Unless it's something that I really want to do, like maybe go to a concert or something like that. Otherwise, not going to do it. But yeah, so you got to find your self-worth and your self-value inside of who you truly are. No matter what people have taken from you or what you have experienced, I just feel like you feel different than everybody else because you are different than anybody else. You're different than your brother, your mother, your sister, your father. You're just different. That's just who you are. That's who you have become. Don't feel like the black sheep of the family. You are exactly who you need to be within your family. Okay, let's get one more. Oh, gosh. I need a drink. Okay. Got dreams here. Messages, signs, symbols, and guidance. And so some of you may have some moments to where you're having trigger things. Things happen to you and now you're feeling that energy or whatever. But I feel like in your dreams, your dreamscape, maybe you think that maybe you're dreaming about the life you want to have or could have had. But all of your dreams are coming true. Things are going to start getting much, much more intense. But it's time for you to find that inner healing. Talk to y'all later.